Welcome back. Dr. Debi Lynes has joined me via Skype today, and you know her from Girl Talk and Lynes on Design and all kinds of things here on WHHI, but today she's wearing her mental health expert hat, and we're going to talk about weathering the storm in this crisis. So thanks for being with us, Debi. It's good to see you.
Well, it is great to see you, and I'm excited to talk about this topic now.
Yeah, so let's talk about it, because we are really inundated all day, every day, if we choose to be, with what's going on in the world, and it is very stressful. So how do we kind of mitigate that stress?
Here's my real takeaway, and we'll get started right now. It is stress is good. Anxiety is good, especially in this time, because really the reason we're feeling all the stress, Betsy, is because we're not really safe right now. There's a lot of unknown. And so our brains, our amygdala is saying, uh-oh, saber-toothed tiger's going to eat us, right?
Right.
That's exactly what it's saying. Yeah. And so what we have to do is use our rational mind and say, wait a minute, a saber-toothed tiger's not going to eat us right now, okay? But we're not quite sure how to manage this. So if we think calmly and we go, okay, we've been instructed to socially distance. That's pretty easy, right? We've been instructed to go outside, take some walks, get some exercise, move. That's not so hard to do. We've been instructed to stay connected to people. So look at us right now. Right. We're talking via Skype, but we're talking. Right. It's funny, I think a lot of people can make opportunities and positive opportunities out of this stressful time.
Well, and I agree with that. And, you know, it is one of the silver linings that we've been talking about, what I've been talking about with other people, is that, you know, it is bringing families together and it is creating family time. So I think we kind of need to look at that as a bonus to what's happening right outside our doors.
And I don't know about you, but in many ways I felt liberated these past couple of weeks. You know why? I have no eyelashes anymore. All my fingernails are falling off. Okay? It's really, and I know that sounds so silly, but what has been important to me and was important to me 3 or 4 weeks ago has now kind of shifted. You know, I call my kids in California every day, and I think a lot of us are doing that. I've walked around my neighborhood, and we've had birthday parties where people have gone by in their cars singing happy birthday to kids. So I think there's a lot of interesting things that are happening, and maybe this is all for good in the long run. I at least hope so.
Well, I hope so too, and you're right, it has forced us to look at things differently and to maybe just kind of slow down a little bit. So, but let's talk about, you mentioned kids and doing birthday parties, you know, with cars driving by and stuff. Let's talk a little bit about how it does affect kids. How do we help them manage any stress or anxiety they might be feeling?
Here's the thing, let's break it down by age group. I have Clementine, my little 3-year-old, is really interesting. Kids are so resilient, and they get it. I was telling you all before we started, it was sad, but it was really interesting to listen to her as I came up closer to her. She's like, don't come close, you know, I might make you sick. And so I think just teaching kids, I don't know, we're either creating germaphobes or they're all going to be more conscientious. I'm not really sure which one it is at this point. But I think little kids are resilient. I think the tough part is to get them in their new normal, in their new groove. Again, that doesn't mean they can't go outside. That doesn't mean they can't see their friends. That doesn't mean they can't do things. They just have to do it from a difference or find alternative ways. I know that Zoom classrooms are really popular right now. So I think there are a lot of creative ways. Chalk writing, if you look at all the things that are out there now, if you walk around my neighborhood in Point Comfort, almost at the end of every single driveway is a chalk message from the kids. And that's been kind of fun. You know, the other thing, Betsy, that I've seen with kids that are a little bit older, maybe 5 to 12, I've seen pickleball. I've seen a lot of new basketball hoops. I've seen a lot of hopscotch and Foursquare. But the interesting part is everything's been separated by cones or with the typical safe distancing of about 6 feet. Right. Here at my house, I've got 2 little baby goats and I've got the chickens. And we have a sign up. The kids are welcome to come one family at a time and visit with the chickens and visit with, collect eggs or whatever. And then every afternoon, we have hand sanitizers and things to wipe down. And in some ways, it's made the kids really conscientious.
Yeah.
My last thought about kids is that when I talk to families, what I hear is, yes, we're all having dinners together. We're all cooking together. Wow, we all have time. And I have time as a mom to kind of model what I want the kids to be doing around the house instead of it being a crazy time. So in a lot of ways, I think for families, this has been quite a positive education. My neighbors, the Quins the other day, it was adorable. They were all riding bikes to the grocery stores. They had their masks on for safety, but it was an adventure and it was a real experience rather than a negative.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Debbie. It's always great information. It's always good to see you. And it is a time of let's look at the positives instead of the negatives. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll hear from toy expert Elizabeth Werner on ways to keep the kids entertained and learning at home. Stay with us.